Hi, today I will be looking more into the 350,000 kilometer BMW. I'll start the day by welding this catalytic converter into the exhaust. I'll quickly show you how it went. The welding went fine. I fired up the car and the exhaust was still leaking, and I finally found what was causing the leak. These pipes are cone-shaped and they are pressed inside the exhaust flange. This connection takes care of the flexibility of the exhaust pipe. After a long time, this connection can wear, and like in this case, it has cracked. So, I repaired the connection by welding the pipes to the flange and added a flex pipe further to the exhaust pipe. Once everything was welded together, I installed the exhaust again. And there it is. No more leaky exhaust, and I can finally sleep my nights a little bit better. Next thing on the list is the radiator fan and why the original switch has been bypassed. As you remember from last episode, the fan switch is inside the cabin. By the way, I just want to say thank you for everyone that have subscribed the channel. There are almost 600 subscribers already, and I'm grateful for that. So if you haven't yet subscribed, I recommend to consider doing so. Thanks. Let's see if I can get rid of this beautiful wiring and get the fan working. Took me some time to find the original wiring. It was hiding behind the bumper. Sneaky bastard. Thankfully, the original wiring was still intact and not thrown away. I will use quick connect terminals for connecting the wires. They are good for temporary use, but they are not a permanent solution. I didn't have any better connectors in the garage, so I'm using these for the test. I will have to replace the connectors later with a better connector.
Yeah, like that's ever gonna happen.
Some tape to the connectors, and we are able to test if the fan works. The fan didn't start spinning. I didn't expect it to, but I also disconnected the water temperature sensor, which should, in some models, lead to the fan to be always spinning when ignition is switched on. I'm now checking the relays if there is a problem with them. This model has one fan, but two relays. The fan has two speeds, slow and fast. Each relay is for each speed. I take the hat off the relay and try to manually engage the fan. Well, look at that. By manually connecting the relay, the fan starts spinning. So the wiring should be good, but why was the switch bypassed? I can only think faulty relay or sensor. So the car has been running for a while now, and it has reached the operating temperature, but the fan is not engaging. The temperature gauge needle is staying in the middle, so the engine is not overheating either. Is it just too cold in here? I tried to unplug the water temp sensor again, but that makes no effect. I'll take the car for a quick spin. Let's see if the fan engages or will the engine overheat. Took me some time to notice, but the fan turned on. Just as I was going for a drive, then it turned off after a while, and then turned on again. So I guess it's working? I will replace the relays, just in case if they are sticking. I borrowed a replacement relay for the yellow relay from my E30. The purple relay was found easily from a spare parts store. I still don't understand why would one install a manual switch instead of a working automatic switch. Okay, time to get rid of these wires. A beautiful wiring set for the angel eyes. These will go as soon as I replace the headlights. This probably won't be the final list. Next, I have to sort out the oil leak. The biggest oil leak seems to come from the oil filter housing. I remove the air filter box out of the way to get more room because I have many parts to remove before I can access the filter housing. Serpentine belt and alternator must be removed to access the oil filter housing. I'll remove the bottom of the airbox too. I can't reach the alternator bolts. Sorry about the sound from now on. Unfortunately, the microphone was set a bit too sensitive, and now the sounds are really loud. I tried my best to turn down the volume. Okay, let's get this alternator cradle out of the way. Some cardboard, and a bowl in case I spill a lot of oil. I will also cover the trigger wheel and sensor in case I spill oil. There was so much oil pooling on that engine block that the US troops... I'm joking. Let's remove the old gasket and clean the surface. It's a good thing to clean the thread holes before installing the filter housing. Someone used silicone sealer on this housing. I guess they tried to stop the oil leak with the sealer. But as you can see, these O-rings on this valve are the sole reason why the filter housing is leaking oil. You can see that the other ring is cracked. No wonder the engine is leaking oil. The O-rings are so flattened that they are hard to spot from the valve. Oh, and they have hardened over time. I wonder if they are ever been replaced before. You can either just replace the O-rings, or you can get a new valve with new O-rings, which is a bit more expensive option. I don't know if these valves ever fail, but you'll get a peace of mind if you replace it while doing this job. This valve had a little scratch in the O-ring groove. I might have made it while removing the old O-rings. I sanded it smooth, so it should be good to go. See the difference? I install the gasket with the filter housing so that the holes in the gasket align with the holes in the engine block. I took a risk, and I didn't drain the oil from the engine for this job. So just for you to know, you can do this job without draining the engine oil. How do you like my special tool? And then the alternator wiring and the alternator back in their places. All right, serpentine belt, air filter box, and airflow meter left to install. Almost forgot about that one oily bolt. Okay, I'll add a bit of oil because the filter housing is now empty. And a bit more. That's another job done. Still a lot more to do. I added a question mark because I did not even start the car yet. I'll drive the car home today, so that will be the test drive. I have come to a conclusion that the car is still savable. Even though there is still a lot of work to do, little by little, the car has proven to be a good individual to restore. I won't restore the car to its original shape, but as good as a daily driver can be. I'll be looking for bigger wheels and a coilover set for the car, but not before the car is properly working. All in all, I do like the car, and it has character. I have also noticed that I have not seen many of these cars on the road. I guess there are not many E36 wagons left. Okay, I guess that's it. There is some old oil on that filter housing. Should have cleaned it from outside too. Seems dry from there. I can't tell if this was the only oil leak or is there another. I need to clean the engine and check it, but that will be in another episode. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you again in the next video.